How did your experience in like living in Deptford like shape your perspective on mental health and the whole community, or was you too young to even think about mental health and how it's shaping the community?
For me, even like my experience, so how I got into mental health or even understanding what it was, because before I came here, I didn't even know of mental health.
Of course.
So living with my biological dad, there was a lot of conflict, passa. So I started to have heart palpitations. And then because of that, I thought it was a heart attack, because I'm like, why is my heart beating so fast? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then I started to research it a lot. Then I started to see that, it's actually heart palpitations.
Yeah.
I'm stressed, there's anxiety. And then what else? Yeah, so from doing that, before that I watched a lot of prison documentaries.
Yeah.
And a lot of like Beyond Scared Straight, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I used to think like people just need to go to jail if they've done a crime and the kid just needs to get locked away.
Yeah.
But from watching Beyond Scared Straight, there's parents taking their kids there, and you hear the kids' stories, and it's like they've been let down by their parents. And not to blame the parents, but they weren't dealt a good hand. So now that is what has led them there. And even the other prison documentaries of the older men, almost all of them, there's been things that has happened that has led them there that was not in their control.
Yeah.
So because of that, I like to understand people, why they are a certain way, and doing sociology as well helped me understand the systems and how they also play into effect and start to affect other people, especially starting from young. And the reason why I start from young is because that's when the seed is planted. So when you're now seeing the problems uprooted, that is after it's been fertilized, everything, and now it's sprouting. Now it's too late.
So did you study sociology in college?
GCSE and A-level.
Why did you study sociology? Was that something that you actually wanted to look into, or you just thought, you know what, let me just tick it and just go get into it?
You know what? When I first came, I chose my GCSE subject when I first came. I think when I read the description, it's something that kind of spoke to me.
Yeah.
And then when I started to learn it, I was like, yeah, no, I love it. Because it breaks down the understanding between what is going on and the thought process behind it, or how different little things in society add to why people are the way they are, or why things happen.
Yeah.
So it gave me a deeper understanding into people and how things actually work to make more sense of it, because naturally my gift is talking to people and understanding people as well. And the things I'm genuinely interested, that's what helps me do well with people.
What kept you, especially coming from Ghana to London to Deptford, like you could have easily been caught up in that lifestyle. I mean, you're 21 right now, do you know what I mean? So you're actually still young, and like, what actually keeps you grounded? Why are you not, your typical girl from the ends, if you like?
My purpose is bigger than me, and I've always had a deep understanding into people, and I don't blame people for things. Even if you might have hurt me and I've like cut it off, I'm not going to keep that resentment towards you, because it's about what I can control. And what I can control is how I help people, and I get pleasure from helping people. And the way I understand certain things and I'm able to break things down, I know that is bigger than me. And that I have gone through certain things that weren't to break me. They were for me to actually be able to understand what it feels like to be in a broken place, so that now I can guide people out of it. Because first I used to look at things, obviously coming from a privileged place, my foundation years, I used to look at it with trying to be from a self-righteous place. Yeah. But now I can see, okay, yeah, no, like you were going through a tough moment and there was no one else around you. I've gone through certain things, and it's like immediately around me, there isn't that support that I need that's not judgmental. Because a lot of the times with certain things, it was like, I'll help you, but there's a string attached. I'll help you, but I'm going to judge you. I'll help you, but I'm going to criticize you. And whilst you're doing that, you're still breaking me down. So now it's like I'm having to fight, and I don't fully have a safe space. So I'm having to put a mask on. So I'll say that and the foundation of like being brought up to trust God and to trust that everything would be okay. And mainly that foundation with my parents, also knowing that they raised me up to be like, I don't know how to be honest, an outstanding young lady.
Of course.
So it'll be I wouldn't be doing them well if I went out and I was just doing a madness.
Yeah.
Because I know better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the way you think. Like, do you know what I mean? You look well educated, you dress well, you look well. I love the bright pink hair. Honestly, it shows character. What kind of trials and tribulations have you gone through that you felt like you wasn't getting the support, or you felt like everyone around you is just scattered away?
I'll say one of the things was not having, so I've gone from having everything that I need and want to not having certain little things. Like my dad used to give me like £5 a week for lunch in 2016. That
you know, I was thinking £5 a week. What did I get? I think I used to get £2 a day.
Yeah.
I used to get £2 a day, £10 a week, 5 days. Yeah.
So £5 a week is not making sense because the school lunches was like £2.50. So like luckily my school teacher, I used to chill with her most of the time, Miss Williams, she got me on free school meals.
Yeah.
So at least I was having that. And then later on, when I told my aunt about what was going on, she started to give me like money and stuff. So it's like that thing about that, but then also living in a house where like when my biological dad comes home, it's so draining. Like if we hear the door, I'm just going to the room. If he comes in, I'm just going out because I'm not trying to be within that space.
Did you two not get along?
Nah.
At all?
No.
What did you not see eye to eye on?
It was a lot of different things. Me, I'm not come to say I was perfect because after some certain point, I just stopped listening because it's like, what's the worst thing you're going to do? You're going to shout. So it's like, I will go out and I wasn't even up to badness. Sometimes I'm going to the library, Canada Water Library, up until 8, 9 because I'm not trying to be home. And then he's shouting like, why are you coming home from school by this time? Obviously, granted, I know why you're shouting at me. And sometimes I wouldn't say or I wouldn't pick up the phone because I just know you're going to shout. So because I was just fed up and it was from not allowing me to do so many simple things and I was not a bad kid. I remember one time I came home from football and he was checking my bag. I don't know for drugs, what drugs you were going to buy.
Really?
Literally.
Is your dad Ghanaian born?
Yeah.
He grew up in Ghana?
Yeah, I think so.
So he came here when he was young?
No, I think he travelled a lot.
I guess what I'm going with it, I was going to ask, was he like a strict African dad?
He was like proper strict and stuff. And the thing was, from the beginning, there were cultural clashes as well, and then obviously religious clash because he was Muslim as well, and I wasn't. So there were certain times where it's like, I'm trying to go to church, but you're not allowing me to go to church. So now I'm having to lie because I just want to go to church.
So he didn't allow you to go to church?
No.
Okay. And where did you get your love for Christianity from?
My mum and dad.
Okay.
Yeah, so like growing up, going to church with them, always they're praying over me. And even though like they kind of tried to stop them from being in contact with me and stuff, but they were basically my rock throughout the time that I was over here in my dad's house. So like even sixth form, I remember Nah, you know what? Yeah. God.
There's no judgment in this room, by the way.
It's not even judgment. It's more of a thing where, you know, if you talk, you talk. I don't talk to half of them anyway, but it's like, yeah, I needed clothes for sixth form. So I'm asking for clothes for sixth form because like you have to dress smart. It's not like college, you can kind of dress like casual, but you have to dress smart. And then he was like, oh, if you weren't buying ripped jeans or stuff, you would have clothes to wear to sixth form and you wouldn't need me to buy them. And I'm like, I need regular clothes. Yeah,
100.
Luckily for me, that year, my non-biological mom went to America and then she came to London for a little bit to come see me. Even though I wasn't allowed to see her, we went, I told her, she took me shopping, bought like all of my clothes for sixth form, bags, everything. So I was like, if you didn't come, I don't know what I would have done because my dad just gave me £40 to buy my clothes for sixth form.
Yeah.
that can just about buy a blazer.
Yeah, I don't know what that's getting.
Literally. So, and the thing was, she had intentionally come that year, and like literally when I told her, she took me shopping and everything, did that for me, and it's like certain things has been said, so he has a certain perspective about them, but they took care of me from 2 to 13.
Yeah, so you got to kind of respect that.
Yeah, and the thing is, nobody can ever chat about my parents, my non-biological parents to me, because it's not even about money spent or whatever. They showed me love. They showed me like genuine love. And there's people like, even that have family that wouldn't treat someone else's child the way they treated me.
Do you think there's a lack of love nowadays, like in households with people growing up? Do you think that's what's missing? Do you think if there was a lot more love, then maybe there won't be a lot of these problems that we have in our community?
I wouldn't say it's a lack of love. I'll say it's a lack of understanding what love is, and also understanding yourself and understanding the child and their developmental needs.
Yeah. Because
we're expecting kids to be at a certain level to come correct, but then we're not understanding that developmentally, the way their brain, the level that their brain is at, there's certain concepts that they can't grasp.
Yeah.
And that we're teaching them certain behaviors, and when they're doing it back, we're punishing them. But you're the one that's taking you're snatching things from your child and you're shouting at them. Totally. So now when they come to snatch something from you and shout at you, you're saying it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
But that's what you're doing to them.
Yeah, I hope like parents are actually taking in Danielle here, because what she's saying is some real like life stuff, that, do you know what I mean? And she's 21, she's still young with it. You know what I'm saying? She's still young with it. Like obviously I'm 30 and I can honestly say like love in my household wasn't something that I even understood. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I weren't coming home and I don't know, like parents saying, "Oh, I love you," or "Well done," or embracing, or "Give me a hug," and this and that. It wasn't like that. It was very like cold. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's either you're in trouble or you're not. That's it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even if man do something good, like the praise that you're getting for doing something good isn't really like the praise that you'll go back thinking, I feel like I've done something good.
They don't validate you.
Yeah, it's not really validated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So then you create this like cold shell around you. And I feel like one of my biggest struggles right now as a 30-year-old man is love, is emotions, is like understanding another person, which is obviously having a problem in my life because it ruins like things like relationships. Yeah. Relationships with a woman, understanding my other half. I don't even know the word that I'm looking for.
Compassionate and open.
Yeah, that's being compassionate and open and understanding. So that I get in relationship and it's like I don't feel a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? So when a woman is like expressing her feelings for me and she's telling me that she loves me and this and that, it's like I can't feel it. I can't process it. I can't feel it. So then it's like I always keep hitting a brick wall. And I keep saying to myself, I need to do better. I need to learn better. But I feel like it's something that I grew up knowing or not knowing. Yeah. And it's like, how do I'm going to pose a question to you. How do I learn to love again and actually feel it, not just say it? Yeah. You know, like there's a difference saying I love you. Anyone can say I love you. But to actually feel it when you're saying, oh my God, I actually love this woman. I love my partner. Yeah. Like, how do I get there?
That's a very good question. And I feel like even with that is how you define it as well. Because recently I was like, instead of using love, I'll use care. How is someone showing that they care for you? What actions are they? Not just words, like not just loyalty, this, that. How are they showing they care for you? How are they showing up? So even looking at things like how your partner likes to be cared for and how you like to be cared for, and being able to communicate that as well. And I feel like being intentional with the woman that you are actually taking interest with, because if you keep on going with people that are not in alignment with you especially when you see maybe within the first day or two that you're not really in alignment and you still continue with it, and it's going to end up in a heartbreak on one side or in disagreements when it comes to like your whole life alignment. That would revalidate the thing of you not feeling, because it's like, it's not worth it because no one will ever really understand, or I'll never get to that point of being able to love. Obviously,
like, you're 21 years old. I feel like your generation is a bit more hard for you guys to understand what love is because of what social media presents in front of you. Social media teaches us that he must love me because he's bought me a Fendi bag. He must love me because he's got me Chanel. He's got me Gucci. We're in a double R, this and that. We're doing up vacation, this and that. So he must love me. So for a young boy or a young girl that's growing up that genuinely likes a girl, he might feel like his words or his feelings aren't enough unless he's presenting her with something materialistic that's going to make her smile. And she might even go off and say, oh my God, girls, look, he loves me. He bought me this bag and like, he must love me. But is that realistic?
No, definitely not. And it's that thing of, is a two thing. So with my biological mom, she was always like, I'm putting money away for you, I'm building this land for you, this, that, and the other. But I'm like, yo, what I need for you in this moment to do is to actually advocate for me and to actually pull up my dad on certain things, and is to actually come and check for my well-being, because I'm underage. You lot are the ones that have a say over my life. But it was always brushed under the rug. Certain times I heard her saying that she thought I was lying. And if you grow up, because of that, I don't value money over people. But then there would have been someone else that would have gone through something similar. So now money equates love because that's what has always been used to show love. And when it comes to actually loving as a young person, it's not about the materialistic things. It's about the person genuinely showing they care for you. It's about them respecting your boundaries. It's about them being intentional about knowing how to care for you and also being intentional about communicating and having that openness as well, knowing how to have confrontation without it becoming toxic or an argument. Is about these little things that were never really taught. So then you're stuck in that cycle of going for the wrong people, because more time you just want affection, you just want to be validated because you've never really been validated as much by your parents or the people closest to you. So they might think that, oh, I'm disciplining you, but they're pushing you away and they're pushing you to toxic people. Because now your primary attachment for love from your parents has been toxic, because they're saying they're beating you out of love. But it can't be out of love. You're just setting the foundation for them to get used to abuse or for them to be an abuser.
I think for us, like, for our kinds of people, where we come from, whether you're from the Caribbean or whether you're from Africa, whatever, but I think back home, we fantasize about money a lot. And everything is about money. And if you don't have money, then you're broke or you're broke and done out here and whatless and this and that. You can't have a life if you don't have that. So I think where we grew up from, that obviously you grew up a bit more privileged, if you like. So you may not have experienced that kind of love for money. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sure you're aware of a lot more people who are in Ghana or wherever that money is literally everything. And I feel like that mindset over there comes over here, and that's what we strive off of. Do you know what I mean? So then we lock away love, we lock away feelings, we lock away emotions, and now it's like, I'm going to have feelings if I have money. I'm going to have emotions if I have money. Like, I can't express my emotions unless I'm in a nice car. Do you know what I mean? But then by that time, it's a bit too late, because your other half is not going to reciprocate as love. It's more about materialistic things. Would you agree?
I would say yes, it does go into it, and that thing of being in survival mode as well. And back to your initial question about learning how to love again, before you can learn to love in a relationship, you need to learn to love yourself.
100%.
You need to learn to be okay with not beating yourself down when you make mistakes. You need to be able to be compassionate with yourself, and you need to be okay with giving yourself a break as well, and allowing yourself to feel your emotions, not just, and to actually sit with them. Because a lot of the times it's like, you know what, Banda, and then you're just like, it's like everyone's just like push through. But no, sit with it for a bit. I'm not saying dwell in it. Sit with it for a bit, then move on. Or it's like celebrating your little wins. It's not always, I need to go harder, I need to get to the next level. Because that has created a toxic culture of not truly living within that moment. And gratitude is one of the biggest things that has pushed me so far, because it's about perspective. Are you looking at what you lack or what you have? Because I've been in mad situations where I'm just like, I'm so happy, I'm so grateful because I've got my mum and dad that I can rely on, or I've got things going on for me. But more time I'm still dealing with a madness. Yeah. But because that's what I'm grateful for, that's what I'm looking at.
That's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
What key moment would you say like really inspired you to pursue the mental health advocacy and coaching? What happened when you thought, you know what, I'm going to chase this and really push it to support others?
It was, well, when I was about to have my son.
So you've got a son?
Yeah.
Okay, how old is he?
Just turned 2.
He just turned 2, so you had him when you was 19? 19,
turning 20, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd always said to myself since I was young, like, I need to get over this anxiety before I have a child, because I know that your emotions go into your child. So I was like, I'm never trying to do that with putting my anxiety onto him. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I have to find a way to overcome this anxiety before I actually have him. So that's when I kind of just went full on. And the thing is, before that, I did have some time here and there, but I was in survival mode, so I was just overworking. So I didn't create the time to actually work on it. But now it's like, yeah, I don't really have a choice. I need to work on it before I have my son. So I started to look at more practical ways to deal with it. I started to look at more understanding what's going on with my mind on that neurological level, and practical things I could do, because I had over-talked. I was tired because they're always saying talk to someone. I'm not saying don't talk to anybody, but if you're talking without action, you're not changing your lifestyle, you're not actually understanding. One big part was understanding where certain things came from, because the people pleasing, the lack of boundaries, the fear of disappointing people, it came from certain experiences that were reinforced within my life. So going back to understand it, so now I know how to treat it. Yeah. Because it's like having a headache that is caused by low iron, but you're drinking water and you're thinking, why the hell do I still have this headache? You're not treating the right cause of the problem.
So you need iron.
Yeah.
No, I like that.